I never thought like I can go to the New York. I will give this speech on the United Nations General Assembly. It was like a dream I never thought, but somehow I have achieved because of the support, because of the confidence, because of the belief in myself.
When students explore MBA programs, one of the most common question is, what kind of outcomes can I expect? But I think an equally important question is, what kind of system creates those outcomes? Today's session is not about isolated success stories. It's about understanding the FIIB Playbook. How students move from classroom learning to global exposure to competitions, research, real career readiness. And today we'll hear from these two faculty members and these two students, one very soon to be alumna, about the FIIB Playbook, what is possible and how it actually happens. Very, very delighted to welcome two faculty members, Dr. Shuchi Dixit, Professor Snigdha Malhotra, as well as two students, represents a different cohort. Miss Mansi Kaushik, she is from our graduating batch, graduating in 2026. She's placed currently with Uneecops. And Mr. Rishabh Jain, batch of 2025-27, a first-year student going on to his second year and will be joining his CIP company soon.
So I'm Snigdha and I largely work in the area of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And my work is making students feel belonged at FIIB. One moment that stayed with me was when there was a girl who never answered in the class and was at the edge to be, set to exit at any moment. And when I asked her that, how can we make this class look like it belongs to you? And after that, she started responding not only in one class, but in every class and everywhere and buzzing around everywhere. So that was my work.
I'm Mansi Kaushik. Currently, I'm pursuing my PGDM from FIIB and I'm placed in the Uneecops as the Business Development Executive. One mentor who really influenced me was Snigdha ma'am. So she always pushed me to think beyond, not just completing the assignments, but to focus on the ideas and how to represent them. Because of her guidance, I start taking on ownership and in the leadership role because currently I am the regional leader for South and Central Asia because of her guidance. And the support he gave me, like you can do anything. And that guidance is really matter in your journey.
Thank you, Mansi. Yes, that a mentor, a faculty member who believes that you can do anything is a tremendous source of confidence, and we can conquer the world, which you have done. I look forward to hearing from you how you've gone continents and presented FIB, presented yourself very confidently in front of UN, United Nations audience.
One of the students who got placed, it was his last day on campus. He came, sat with me for 10 minutes. While he was leaving, he got up, shook my hand and said, "Ma'am, thank you for mentoring me." And for a second, I thought, okay, I have not mentored you. I was not the allocated faculty mentor for him. I questioned that. I know that your faculty mentor is this person. He said, "No, ma'am, but you have always, been with me." So when almost for like 5 minutes, we spoke about when he first came to campus. I met him in the orientation when I was introducing L&D framework. I was with him when in the orientation he was delivering his rack talk, the very famous of rack talks that we do on campus. I met him during the student club activities. He was always taking initiatives. He was coming back to me for any support that he needed, any resource that he needed. Applied for student council. I'll keep the name aside and not tell you who specifically that was. And during the placement cycle also, that he would come back to me, discuss his interviews, discuss what was happening, and a lot of events. So, with student council, it is always about what's happening on campus, how they can deliver better. So in all of these touch points that he was with me, and we walked complete 2 years together in those 10 minutes.
Interesting. Thank you for sharing that. I know at FIB, I always say this, our students are very lucky because of the faculty that they get, because I know you guys go all out to be there for your students. I know you do like calls still at midnight just before placement season's happening and otherwise, and maybe the students will have something more to say.
One moment that really stayed with me was when a faculty mentor told me that growth doesn't happen in comfort. It actually happens in exposure. So that shifted my mindset completely, and I stopped waiting to feel ready and started saying yes to opportunities, even when I wasn't fully confident. That one perspective helped me to step out and participate more and truly grow.
And the large installation in the courtyard at FIB, the never stop learning, always keep in a discomfort zone. So you are stretched and growing. You seem to have walked that path completely.
I'll start with the global level. We have not limited our students to the national level participations only, but our students are shining at a global level. I'll start with Mansi. Mansi came to FIB. She became Girl of Co-Head, and then through her leadership, she went to PRME, which is our partner institution, and she's a global leader there. After that, she was invited to United Nations General Assembly and participate there, and she made all of us proud over there. There are a lot of other international opportunities also which keep on coming, and as students continuously keep on shining, apart from the global exposure opportunities like visiting to Vietnam and participating in international research conferences that they usually do. At a national level also, recently our student team won a case study competition at LinkedIn, which was Corporate Connect, Campus to Corporate Connect. There were schools across North India that were participating, and we are very proud that our team stood first over there. Then our students were also given opportunity through UN Girl Up, which is again a partner institution, to participate in AI Impact Summit, which was an exclusive opportunity for our students. Our students also volunteer and help international forums like UN Global Compact Network India to organize their summits, and they have astonished everybody with the kind of work and the diligent deliberations that they have done there and made wonderful networking connections out there. Our students, apart from that, keep on participating in different research conferences at IIMs and case study competitions at Case Western University, and they're shining globally and nationally.
Actually, there are a lot of experiences in FIIB which really changed my mindset and also open up. But yes, one experience that really changed me was involvement with the Girl Up India, where I was organizing the events, one event like the Beyond Labels. During that time, I was not just managing an event or organizing the event, but I was actually understanding the real issues around the gender identity and the inclusion, how people face that and how society think about the gender LGBTQ plus AI. And it made me realize that as a future leader, because decisions are not just about the profit, but it should about the people. And also through FIIB focus, FIIB curriculum on DEI, especially discussion around disability and transgender inclusion, my perspective become more empathetic and aware. And now I approach teamwork, leadership in much more inclusive and thoughtful way. Even in my workplace, I also feel like we all are human no matter from where we have came. And all this happened because of how FIIB teach us about the DEI. That's really open up my mind about the human, about the inclusivity and the diversity. In my graduation, I did BSc Honors Agriculture, although there is no match with the MBA, but now I got placed in a very good company. So, and if I talk about my background, so I came from a background where girls are not encouraged, like they can't take the independent decisions by herself. Because when I was taking the admission in MBA also, some of my relatives tell my mother, I'm a single parent child. Some of my relatives told my mother, like, why are you investing so much money on her education? You can use that money for her marriage. But you know, that diversity or the inclusion and the support I was talking about is very important in your life. I took the admission, my mother supported my decisions, and I make them proud. I make them proud, FIIB, to my parents. So I think it doesn't matter for me, like from where you have started, what was your background, but how you are in your present life, how much efforts you are putting is the most important, no matter from where you have started, from where you are now. You just have to be focused, you just have to believe in yourself, then you can achieve everything. Because I never thought like I can go to the New York to like give I will give this speech on the United Nations General Assembly. It was like a dream I never thought, but somehow I have achieved because of the support, because of the confidence, because of the belief in myself.
You matter is what we truly believe in. But I would just say you matter is not just a tagline for us. It is a philosophy, and it is nothing is haphazard. It might seem that way. Nothing is haphazard. Everything is planned and structured. So with you matter, we say every student is important, every student's journey is important, and every student will come with different potential. So we have created different opportunities for different potential also, right? So even in fact, if I give you an example of the L&D program that we have, from the day one till the time that the student is getting placed, every term has a different objective, a different purpose, and different tools and mentors being assigned to them. So we understand when a student is coming in, what is it that they're looking at? We sit with them with their forward action plans, have regular check-ins. We have AI tools plus humans, expert humans from different who are there to support their journey. And with the combination of all of this, student moves from one step of the ladder and then gradually moving up on the trajectory. Apart from L&D structure, if I just take it a little bit outside, even in fact, our program, so there is this honors program, 4 specific honors programs that we offer to the student, which is FIB Pranav, which is case study competition, which is our Spark mentors, which is research oriented, and finally the corporate mentorship program. Student has an equal opportunity to apply for those, get selected, and be groomed by expert both in-house and outside. And so, therefore, these programs in themselves are rigorous enough that will bring out. So, student can choose, of course. And very recently, that we have launched a student development scheme also, ma'am, that I would like to actually bring in, wherein if not these programs, anything the student wants to, right? Students want to go ahead, apply somewhere else, be a part of something national, international, wherein monetary support is given to the student. We give seed fund, we give international exposure support, we give scholarship as a part of the program, which is outside of what they have done before. I think it just kind of captures complete 300 students.
Initially, when I joined FIB, I was from a completely different background. I was from engineering background. I was a software engineer before. So I didn't had much knowledge that in which field should I try and should I explore my MBA journey mostly. So my mentor, my L&D team helped me go step by step from it to they helped me like creating my FAP, exploring my vision for the future that I want to develop and how I want it to grow. So the step-by-step progress through FAP like laid some footsteps for me for my future growth out there.
Makes sense. And FAP starts with what? Your own inputs, or faculty gives you inputs into your document? Where does it really start
No,
for you,
ma'am.
Rishabh?
Basically, initially FAP starts with our inputs. We like put in all the raw inputs that we have. Basically, it's just a raw drawing, just a chart paper and a color that we put in. Like fine it. The mentors are there, the faculty are there to just align our raw thoughts.
When the students enter, we make it very clear to them that LinkedIn is not just a profile for you. It is going to be your professional journey for the next 2 years and then way ahead into corporate. One thing that I've seen is that students building their thought leadership through LinkedIn, and they're not just randomly engaging with the post. We tell them to very mindfully put out their voice of what they believe in and engage with the right set of people. So I see I have honestly seen so many corporate people coming on the campus, and I think I always encourage my students that if you connect with each one of them and maintain and follow, engage with them, I think your professional network is done and dusted there. You have a very huge network, and that is how this ideology and this confidence and their entire portfolio has been built through LinkedIn. LinkedIn's very essential part at FIB. Apart from being vocal at LinkedIn and putting up their voices, I think we are very beautifully working on their e-portfolios that they are making. They're very innovatively building on, and that has a beautiful summary of what they have done, what internships, what projects, what are their key strengths. And that's a beautiful summary. I think CV is going to go away. If somebody sends me their CV, I would not be interested in reading the entire thing. But I think if I go on a LinkedIn profile, I would be very easily able to understand what are they doing, what are their interests, would they fit in my organization or not. I think everybody at FIB has that ideology, their LinkedIn profiles. They're not just posting for the sake of posting. And I think that's in the DNA, ma'am. The event has happened, and you'll see so many posts from FIB students with their different learnings coming in, and everybody has different way of putting their thoughts out there on LinkedIn, and that's beautiful.
Thank you. And since you mentioned I've got Mansi, Mansi, I'll just go ahead and put something of yours on the screen. That's Mansi. And this is what we were talking about, like going beyond CVs, LinkedIn. This is Mansi's e-portfolio. So this is her. Mansi, you want to talk about what's happening on the slides very quickly? I'll change them for you. But what's happening in this picture, Mansi?
I did my graduation in BSc Honors Agriculture. Then I took the admission in MBA at FIIB, and now I got placed in, I should add that also there. So if I talk about my working experience before my job, so during my graduation, I did my internship in Syngenta company. Then for social internship, I talked about the DI. So this is how FIIB helped the student to understand about the disability. And then for my corporate internship, I did in the Udan, India. These are the picture from the UN where I talked about the sustainability, how FIIB help, how as a youth leader can change the world, and also the Girl Up cohort in the Gender Equality Summit. These are the research project. Like FIIB also runs some other project like this Spark. This is for the students who want to go deep dive in the research. So I was also the part of the Spark where I did research on the hydroponic farming based on the MBA level, like for the operational and the operational barriers. And also I published my story on the Aim to Flourish, the social internship I did in the Vishesh. I also published that on the Aim to Flourish platform, which is a international platform. And if I talk about my academic project, you can see the graphs and the dashboard. So in FIIB, we have different subjects like the Python, RStudio, and also Power BI, which really help in my current job scenario also, because where we have to understand, we have to make the dashboards and the reports. And these are my some PRME highlights where I also talked about the water conservation, about the anxiety on the international level, because in the youth there are a lot of noise, but you have to be you have to heard your voice. So I talked about the anxiety from the India I talked about, and these are some pictures you can see.
These are friends from all over the world that you made?
Yes, ma'am. The friends are from the Indonesia, Egypt, Nigeria, and yeah.
And this is news that's gotten published about you in different platforms.
Yes, ma'am. Now I'm also in the Google, like you can search for the Mansi Kaushik FIIB.
Wonderful, Mansi. Look, like I said, go up higher and higher. This is great. Rishabh, something that you will have to put together for next year for yourself. But for the students who've joined us, these are some other portfolios. This is Nandini. She's in finance. This is her e-portfolio. So we encourage our students to present themselves in interesting ways, because that's what recruiters are looking for today. Not just CVs. Yes, you will have CVs, but we encourage people to write on LinkedIn, develop their voice, and then have lots of things to showcase. And on that note, Dr. Shuchi, as I'm showing some of this, I was hoping you could talk about how does a student balance in-class and out-class experiences, because this takes, the kind of projects that Mansi is talking about, where she spends so much time doing, or what we're seeing of Nandini, she's publishing regularly on LinkedIn, and recruiters care about all of this. What is your advice to students for how to strike that balance?
I remember a lot of students when they are joining FIB, they want to know how experiential learning is brought into the system. To be very honest and frank about it, I don't think I want to take up a student only to teach them the concepts. It's about the application of the concepts here. And that's why the blend comes in. It is one thing that inside the classroom we take up the methodology of case studies, simulations. We are talking about primary research, capstone projects, which is all done with real data. Students are able to take data from the world, look at the business problems, even during their corporate internships, or even in fact during their social internship. They act like auditors, they act like consultants for these things. They will go in, see where, what is happening, and do an analysis and then come up with solutions which are long lasting and sustainable. And that's exactly what is happening outside also. They are going and participating in competition, conferences as a part of the student council member. They're given challenges. They're given challenges where they can apply what they are doing inside the classroom. And they do reach out to their faculty mentors and subject matter experts also, that this is the problem we are facing. This is the event we are organizing. Can you please tell us how we should approach it? Or just, review it once for us. Give us a first-hand kind of a feedback on this. And that goes back into the process. They apply it. And then there is a reflection that they sit afterwards, look at it, what went well, what could have been done better. And like another 15 days, there's another project that they have to start applying.
We are just into our CIPs and we will be joining companies soon. So my main energy that would be transferred from the first year to second year would be like transferring that excitement, that enthusiasm, that confidence that FIIB gave me into all the learnings, all the targets that I'll get from the company, and to achieve them, to build as much connections as I can there. And after coming from the CIP, the main motive would be to get a PPO, definitely from the CIP. And after that,
And spell out
if
what a PPO is for our audience.
so PPO basically is a pre-placement offer that all the interns are eligible to get, but the conversion rate is actually very low. So I would be like all on for banging that opportunity because of the FIB exposure that I have got. And after that, the juniors would be there. So my main motive would be actually to transfer my enthusiasm, energy into them as much as I can, to let them grow, to make them explore as many opportunities as I can, because that's what my seniors helped me with.
The resilience that it requires, you don't give up. Things are going to bog you down. Doesn't matter. You're in an environment to learn. Keep getting up, keep showing up. That's exactly what is going to get you through.
They should be confident and should believe in yourself, because stepping out of their comfort zone is the most important part for the student life.
I'll go with FIB's motto, enter to learn, leave to succeed.
So for me, I would say never hesitate, never say no to any of the opportunities you get. Don't feel that you are getting judged and you are not okay with these opportunities and you are not good in that.
This case competition or that classroom lecture? Case competition.
Yes, ma'am.
Saying yes to everything or being selective?
Ma'am, I think both. It depends on the opportunity and situation.
Group work or solo work?
Group work.
Structured plan or figuring it out as you go?
Figuring it out.
Taking a risk or playing it safe?
Taking a risk. It's very important.
Thank you, Mansi. Dr. Shuchi, potential or performance? What do you look for in a student more?
Potential, always.
Consistency or brilliance?
Consistency. Consistency will bring in the brilliance as well.
Discipline or curiosity?
I think curiosity will bring the discipline also.
Classroom learning or experiential learning?
Both go hand in hand. Both are important.
And guiding students or challenging them?
Challenging, but guiding them. They need
Challenging, but in a
just time,
guided
but
way. Very
guided.
diplomatic answers. You've Rishabh, let's do yours. You've got your hands right. This or that.
Yes, ma'am.
This learning from failure or that learning from feedback?
I would say both.
Networking events or one-on-one conversation?
Networking events.
Which is the last one you might have gone to recently?
Recently I went for Gender Equality Summit.
Comfort zone or stretch zone?
Comfort zone for sure.
Doing more things or doing lesser things but doing them well?
Doing more things.
Confidence first or competence?
Competence first.
Thank you, Rishabh. Snigdha, for you, structured curriculum or flexible exploration?
I'll go both. Structure is very important, but flexible.
Faculty is playing it very safe here. Early specialization or broad exposure?
Broad exposure.
Feedback or self-reflection?
So feedback leads you to self-reflection, I think, but I believe that somebody who has self-reflected first is the winner.
Confidence or humility?
Confidence wrapped in humility, humility wrapped in confidence.
Students who ask questions or students who take action?
Students who ask good questions and they're also ready to take actions.
I've got a rapid fire question for everyone. Rishabh, I'll start with you. One word that defines FIB for you.
Ma'am, for me, the one word that defines FIB is alchemy because it turns my potential into my real capability.
Mansi, one opportunity that students who are thinking of coming to FIB should just not miss next year.
I think taking up on the leadership roles, getting involved in the student council is the most important part because this is where you all will start your journey, your learning.
Snigdha, one habit that makes students stand out for you.
I think curiosity. Be dangerously curious. Why am I saying this? Because when you go into a classroom, it is the energy of the students, curiosity that pushes us as well, that pushes the entire institution. And I think that's how we are also curious.
Dr. Shuchi, one thing that students underestimate about FIB.
The whole student approach that FIB follows. We are not just looking at academics, we are looking at student overall health, safety, engagement, social and emotional development, everything. So for that, we have L&D trainers, we have coaches, we have faculty mentors, we have recruitment strategists, we have wellness coaches. And I think the whole spectrum is there. Whatever you need, the complete growth is there.
Well, thank you. If I was Karan Johar and I had a hamper, I would give it to all of you for doing so well, but I'll just clap for all of you. I hope the audience has enjoyed everything that these two faculty members and these two absolutely dynamic students had to present today. And after reflecting on the conversation that we've had, what really stands out for me, there is a system that consistently creates opportunities for every student's growth at FIB. Whether it's global exposure, competitions, research, industry engagement, these are not isolated moments. They are a part of the larger FIB journey. And what makes this powerful is that it's not limited to a few students. It's available to every student who is willing to engage, to take initiative, step out of their comfort zone.